Hey guys, Double here, and you might be wondering why I'm standing here instead of unpaused. Well, that is because this ending requires us to keep clicking begin the game again until I get that weird room outside my office. And then there's a specific employee's desk I need, or not desk, door I need to go through. So this may be a while, but the thing didn't appear to last very long, so I decided not to just cut this. So yeah. Oh, and it turns out if you legitimately play the baby game for 4 hours, apparently at one point it changes to puppies and piranhas. Is it? I mean, it's different. I want a 426. I don't think this was it. It's different, but I don't... Nope. Want to be able to get in 426s. So I guess there's multiple ways that can start. But anyway, it changes to puppies and piranhas or something. And if you legitimately play that for 4 hours, there's a special ending or something. I'm not going to do that. You can look it up somewhere else, I'm sure. The blue room. That's not blue. Do 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 do. I like pineapple. Blue. 426.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Welcome to the
Perhaps he had
whiteboard
simply missed
ending.
a memo.
Console bark. What? What? Console bark? Hold on. Okay, so it appears that is it. So I guess we're doing two things this. Apparently there's like console commands or something. So I want to
Someone was
play...
following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. Only
So
a
I want to
matter
get
of
on
time.
434's desk. Ooh. Okay, it's control. Did I do that? Did I mess it up? Probably messed it up. Well, at least that's the standard room I want for this one.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Okay.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
I don't know which one I clicked.
Ah, then in that case we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place.
I'll check if that's
now,
a thing.
Think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
What? Hold on. So all it mentions was that, how to get there. So, I guess I'm gonna try again and see if that
Stanley
legit
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked,
please?
He couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
So just crouching let you do this. So I guess we'll see now. It's probably the exact same thing.
Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and
well.
realized it was part of the game's
Both
design all
quite
along.
short.
He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative.
I'm gonna do a bonus episode
So,
there's
now that you're here,
a few Easter eggs apparently.
Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want. Like, right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on when you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
I'm ready.
There once was a man named Stanley.
I'm done.
Who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly.
What?
Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function.
Wow.
Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. You too
Dog outside
will become quite unbearable.
I'm not sure if this is gonna continue. I mean, if there's actual narration, I don't mind, but if it's just gonna be this guitar, which I'm hoping is royalty free, I'm just gonna hope it's that. So, next time, we will... But what the fuck? Next time we will continue with those papers and do the last ending, and then there's probably gonna be 2 bonus episodes, because I'm gonna do, yeah, I'll get to those later. See you guys next time.